Hello everyone and welcome to the Smart Real Watch by Uday. These are available in two different finishes. You have stainless steel plus black titanium. Regardless of whichever one you get, they function exactly the same. So we want to thank you so much for picking this up. You're going to be able to do a million different tricks with this. This is mostly a utility device that's going to live on your wrist and you can use it at any time. You don't have to go into your pockets to get ready because it lives on your wrist. So without any further ado, let's take a look at how this smart real watch works in the next section. As you may have noticed, this does not function like a regular smartwatch because it is a real watch. And I don't mean real with an A, I mean double E's. Might be a little confusing, but let's take a look at how this works. If you notice on the side where you have the fake little wheel, on the other side you have a wax. This you can unstick it. Make sure you do that carefully, even though if you do break it, we'll show you how to fix it in a second. I'll put it right here. Hopefully you can kind of see it against my skin there, but the thread is coming out of that little slit on the side of the watch. Now, if the thread were to ever break, we're going to show you how to fix it. For now, all you have to know is that you need to push down in the hole on the other side of the watch. My pinky's not small enough, so I'm just going to use a regular pen, put it right in there, and you'll see that that piece will come right out. Now, yours may not be red on the inside, it may be black. It's completely okay. This is just in case the thread were to rub against that. It's not really a hard surface, so the thread is going to smoothly right over that and work flawlessly for you. Now, on the inside, you'll notice that you have a little elastic at the bottom and at the top with the cylinder inside, and that is attached to the thread. Now, because as you pull this, the little elastics get intertwined, that's why when you let go, this will come right back into it. Now, this is basically how the reel works. It's just taken the regular concept of a reel, applied into a smartwatch that you can then just wear on your wrist. I will mention, if you're familiar with a regular Apple Watch, this one is going to be put on your wrist the opposite way. So instead of usually putting it this way, you're just going to put it the other way around so that the thread can come out through the top of your hand. You can also change it so that you have it going underneath your wrist and the thread is coming out through here. Because there are tons and thousands of different tricks and things you can do with not just a reel, but also invisible thread, we're gonna try to keep this as short as we can while giving you as much information as possible so you can get out there and start creating tricks using your real watch. For the rest of this instructions, we're not going to be using the invisible thread. As you'll see, it's going to be very difficult for the camera to pick that up. What we've done is we have rigged this watch right here with white elastic. That way you can see exactly where the thread is going and how to do what it is that we're doing here. And you can see that a little bit more clearly. Now, when it comes to invisible thread, of course you can make things levitate, but we're going to take things step by step. The first thing you can do is just move any object that is around you. For instance, right now we have a pen, so we're going to show you how you can move the pen. Again, yours will be with invisible thread. Ours is going to be white, so you can see it against this white background. Now, because you do have this here, you can, during performance, grab it and stick it either on the back of your thumb. So now it's on the back of your thumb here like this. You can have it either going in front of the thumb or behind the thumb. Regardless, what you could do is bring your hands close to the table, right? And you're going to bring, well, it's easier with the other thread, but you're going to bring that thread under the pen. Now, whenever I release pressure with my thumb there, you'll see that you can start making that pen stand up. You can do it with the hands like this, and it's behaving a little bit different than it would if I had actual thread, because this is obviously different, but you can have it stand up and then do that, it'll fall. As they pick that up, you can just very easily flick that off and it'll go back to the watch at any point that you want. As if you're checking the watch, you're just sticking that there for your next performance. You don't have to have the hookup completely on yourself. Now, because I had a felt table, we've just put this little hard surface, and your little wax is going to be able to stick on there. Okay. Now, this could be your phone, this could be a deck of cards, a salt shaker, or just on the table. The idea is that you can now take the pen and place it on top of that. Now, because of the tension, you're not going to want to let go of it because it may start levitating. So you just take your thumb and make sure that string is all the way down as you put it there, and then you'll be good to go. Once you're ready, you can then make the pen move across the table. The idea here is that you're going to be able to move the pen without having the attachment on your other hand. It's going to be on the table. If you want, as you come pick it up, you just unstick it and that's going to fly back to your wrist. Now, another thing you could do, let's say you have a wine glass. Now, I will show you that it can be done because you may not think that it is strong enough to pull it, but this is the invisible thread, and you can see that it can move a wine glass either forwards or backwards. The idea is the same. I'm going to be using this just so I could show you, but you could stick it on your thumb, or you could put it on any of these fingers depending on how you want to do the trick. You can have it go through the web of your thumb and your palm, or you can even have it go through any of your fingers. The idea is that if you now have this, as you can see, you can use this to push the wine glass forward, or if you're coming over like this, and then you can move it around, set it in place, and then once you're ready, you can then have it come towards you. Once you want to let go of the string, you just remove the wax and it's going to fly back onto your wrist. Just stick the little wax there and you're good to go. We're going to show you the rising card with the Smart Reel watch, but just know this is just one way in which you could accomplish this. You may find tons of different ways to do the exact same thing. The way I like to start this is by having the little wax on the thumb that usually grabs the deck in biddle grip. Okay, so whenever I grab the deck in biddle grip, I'm going to have it on that thumb. I'm then going to have them, so this is technically the setup. It's attached right there. Now, as you dribble through, you're just going to have your spectators pick any card. So say stop, let's say they say stop here. They're going to take the card. As they're looking at that card, what you're going to do is use your index finger here to transfer that to the bottom of that deck, just like this. And this is happening as they're looking at the card. If you need a little extra time, feel free to have them sign the card if you need to. So we have this at the bottom of the deck. What you want to do is extend it forward so that the string is directly above the cards. Now you're going to have your spectator place the card right there. The string would be going in this, from there, underneath the deck, underneath that card. Now all you have to do is, as you bring this deck forward, you want to make sure you have that string there. If you're down here, you may put too much tension on it. So you want to make sure you're very open as you close it, and then automatically the tension will set itself. What you're doing is you're trapping that card in between. So now, whenever I release the pressure that I have on my fingers holding the deck there, you can also use this hand to just push that card up, and then you have, your rising card. So once again, very quickly, you are here. Let's say you're having the spectators, I'll do it from this angle so you can see. You're having the spectators say stop. they say stop, they'll take the card. As they're looking at the card, you just transfer that wax to the bottom of the deck. As you tell them, go ahead, place the card back, they're going to place that card back. As you then close this, remember to keep that gap, okay? And now, when you just put tension here, you'll see that that card is just going to rise up. You can have the spectator take the card themselves. It's not attached to the string at all. Once they do, the attention will be there. You can use the index finger to get rid of that wax. If you bring your hands slightly close together, then they won't, oh, I'm doing too many things at once. Then they won't see that little wax fly back into the watch. But in all honesty, the attention is going to be on the cards. Once again, this is just one way in which you can accomplish the rising effect from beginning to end. Let's take a look now at how you could do the haunted deck. For this one, I like to also start with the little wax on the thumb already. They'll be able to take absolutely any card, but I don't like to do it this way because you're not going to get the card put back this way. I like to do it the same way the card is going to be put back, which is like this. So they will take the card. At this point, as they look at it, you can transfer the wax to the bottom of the deck. Now notice it's not at the top now. Now it is at the side here because we're doing the haunted deck. When you tell them, have you looked at the card, you're actually hooking the thread around the thumb. Okay, so from here, you tell them, take a look at the card. Actually, why don't you put it back? Now they're going to be putting it back on top of the thread. Once it goes on top of the thread, now you can tell them, and here it's going to go right in the middle of the deck and we'll loose it somewhere inside. Now, what we've done is we've set up the deck pretty much in the same way we did the rising deck, but now it's sideways instead of in the front. You can set the deck down on the table. Just know that the moment you move your hand, if there's any tension here, the deck will start to move. So in order to make that not happen, you could put a little pressure on the thread with your finger there as you then pull back and clip the thread. This is going to let you have a loose thread on there where you can move your hand around. Just know the moment you open that thumb and you stop clipping that thread, it will become taut. Once you start moving a little bit, you'll see that that's going to come. Keep pushing, and then this whole animation will take care on its own. You can have your spectators take the card from the middle of the deck here, as there is no attachment to it. All you have to do now is pick up the cards, and what I like to do is unstick that as you do like an all-around square up or something like this. That way now the deck is also fully examinable and you have your wax back where it belongs. Let's say you wanted to turn the page from a book using telekinesis or your mind power. Very, very simple. What you could do is attach the thread behind the book and then take one page and flip it forward. Now, at this point, I'm going to clip this here so that it's not taut. Again, you can let go. Just know that any movement is going to cause this page to start moving. Now, all you have to do is literally just almost make it seem like this is just going to immediately turn over and you're good to go. Now, as you come show that, you steal the piece and it goes on your watch. One thing you could do with pieces of paper or even money, sugar packets, or anything you want is take them, crumble them up, and as you put them away from the table, you can have them come to you. Now, it's very simple to do, and of course they can hand that out if you want. I like to start once again with this on the back of the nail of your thumb, and then whatever object you have, what you do is you just transfer this to it as you crumble the paper. Then carefully, I like to move the wrist slightly down so that there's no friction as this gets moved forward. And then you can bring your thumb down, clip it, your index finger or anything, as long as that retraction is not taking place. Then whenever it is you're ready, you let go and then it'll come to you. All you have to do now is open it up, remove the little wax, and you're good to go. If your thread breaks, it is incredibly easy to fix. I'm going to show you both with the rigged one with the white thread that we're using during the whole explanations, plus with the actual invisible thread so you can see how quick it is. I'm first going to do it with the actual invisible thread, and as you can see, there's no attachment here. The thread is technically broken. So the first thing you need to do is go on the underside of the watch and take any small object that you can push the little cap off. You're not going to need it for now. What you're going to do is you see this little white cylinder, the black is actually your thread. So you want to use your index finger and thumb and start gripping there until you see it. You see how it's moving? That means I grabbed the end of the thread because it's moving. Now, once you have that end of the thread, put the watch down, grab your little wax, ensure that you still have it, and now you're just going to wrap the wax around that thread. I like to make it almost long, as you see there, and then just twist the thread around a couple times, and then I fold everything in. I give it a couple more turns as I basically just squeeze the thread in. So now all you have to do is ensure the thread is going through that little tiny gap right there by that fake turn wheel, and then you put it through that. Now you stick the little wax there, the top goes on, and you now have, once again, a threaded smart reel watch. Now I'm going to show you with the fake string so that you can, or I should say it's real string, it's just white, but so that you can see it. We're going to pop that out also once again, and oh, it seems like I unstuck the string. I'm going to pretend it got cut here like this, and then boop, oh, I guess this string is stronger than I expected. There we go. And then that's going to go in just like this, right? That's what would happen. So now you would have that thread there. You, once again, pick your thumb like this until there. You see, I've grabbed it. I can see it moving. So once you have that, it's very, very simple. You take your, let's get rid of the thread. You take your wax, put it once again on the thread, start wrapping it around, squeeze the thread inside, move the wax around the thread, fold the wax into the thread until you know it's secure, and then now, as you can see, that thread is going in that little gap, and then you can put it next to it. Now, you close it up, and again, you have that thread perfect going for you. Now, I will mention sometimes, happens very, very rarely, but if the thread ever goes into the little elastic sections, I'll point here with the scissors so you can see. If it goes into the elastic sections there, happens very, very rarely. That's why these protecting bands are here, to prevent that thread from going into those sections. But if it does go there, you may just have to pull it strong enough so that that string kind of breaks, and then you start over fresh. Rest assured, you have here tons and tons and tons of thread that is going to last you a very, very long time. So as you can see, it is very simple and very quick to repair your smart reel watch in case the thread does happen to break. So there you go, a couple ideas to get you started. But again, this is not the end. There is so much you can do with this. I do want to say, feel free to have this stuck on the back of your nail, ready to go at a moment's notice. That way you can perform anything you want. If you're familiar with, let's say, PK touches and routines in that style, this is perfect for you. Because once you come over, you can click it or stick it on one of your other nails, let's say this one, and now you can brush the spectator's nose, their finger. Nobody is going to be able to see that you're touching them because you're using invisible thread. So once again, you're going to be able to do PK style routines. Another thing you could consider doing is wearing this the other way. I'm just flipping it over like this without really taking it off. But what this might let you do, if you have this attached to your thumb, once again, is you might be able to come over with the index finger and now create almost like a little loop. You can balance stuff right here. So a playing card, bills, anything at all, you can use this to move stuff. Regardless, you're now unhooked. You can use your hands for pretty much everything you normally would, yet you're now back into it. So you would be able to, let's say, move glasses, move the pen, or the sunglasses is what I meant. But feel free to also do the wine glass like we did earlier. Just know that you can do millions of things with just this. And if you move this, instead of wearing it on your wrist, you put it somewhere else in your pocket, in your ankle. I haven't tried this, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what could be possible with this utility device, because that's really what it is. It's a utility device that is going to be limited only by your imagination. I want to thank you so much for your time. I hope you have enjoyed our time together. I'm Javier Funmayer, and we'll see you next time.